Hello, peeps. We're back. Playing Fallout. I'm Angel. Look, I have red hair again. Told you in the last video, it was just a simple, uninstall, reinstall.
Well, if anyone could figure out a good use for it.
Taking these stim packs. I don't know why I have a ton of extra stim packs. Oh,
Excellent.
a magazine. I mean, I don't know why, but alright.
Well, there's a classic.
Whatever. Okay, let's save before I go in here. We are going to see if we can access Kellogg's memories and find out how he got in and out of the Institute. Please stand by.
Initiating brainwave migration between the transplant and the host. Mnemonic activity coming from the transplant. It's degenerated, but it's there. We're going to load you into the strongest memories we can find.
They might not be
stable.
So, I mentioned in a previous video when we confronted Kellogg that Kellogg is actually a sympathetic character when you learn his backstory. This is where we learn his backstory. Okay? I still don't feel like his backstory justifies what he has done working for the Institute. But it does make him more of a sympathetic character.
I'll try to step you through the intact memories and hope we find
oh my god, my dog is in here with me. I've never seen that before. He's not supposed to be in here. Oh lord, that's hilarious.
This is the earliest intact memory I can find.
Turn down the goddamn radio! I'm trying
Remember, you are experiencing these memories as Kellogg. This may prove disorienting at first.
I've seen all these before, but I'll let them play fully so you guys can see them if there's anybody watching who hasn't.
What a joke.
What's it mean, Mom?
Nothing, Connie. People
That
like to talk and
is
hope
Kellogg
someone
right
else
there.
is going to
Little
keep
boy
them
on the bed.
safe.
Teacher at school said the NCR would bring back the good old days. Like before the big war.
Don't you listen to that twaddle. I'm going to stop singing you if that's what they're teaching you.
I'm going out. Where the fuck did you put my boots?
Listen to me, Connie. You take this. You're old enough. You're the man of the family now. It's your job to protect us. Your father's useless, but you won't turn out like him. You're a good boy. And all that on the radio. All useless talk. The only thing that will protect you in this world is that gun in your hands. You need to learn to use it if you're going to survive.
I will, Mom. I promise. I won't let you down.
You've always been my good boy.
This doesn't seem to be what we're looking for.
Oh, I was supposed to click on them while they were there, apparently.
Another intact memory.
There's like you can click on different things and actually hear Kellogg's words about it.
Try that one.
Crap! Come back! Come back! Oh, here we go.
Dad was either drunk or not around. I guess he must have run with one of the raider gangs, but I never really knew what he did. Don't know why Mom was with him. Maybe at some point in his life he wasn't a complete asshole.
So in every memory we go to, there's dialogue to listen to, but then there's also things like
Such a
this.
dummy back then. What did I know about how the world worked? I think now she wanted me to kill him. I should have. Instead, I ended up running away. I told myself I wanted to find somewhere out from under the thumb of the NCR and all their rules. But really, I was running from the guilt of not protecting her from Dad. Yeah, it doesn't matter now, though.
Alright, and he's Mom.
Mom knew how it was. She wasn't soft, but she loved me in her way. And she protected me from Dad. That cost her more than a few beatings. I never knew what happened to her after I left. I didn't want to know. Not then.
So, you know, abusive childhood.
People always hoping for something better. They usually end up with something worse.
Alright, now we'll move on to the next memory.
The thing about happiness is
This
you
is
only know
Kellogg.
you had it when it's gone. I mean, you may think to yourself that you're happy, but you don't really believe it. You focus on the petty bullshit or next job or whatever. It's only looking back, by comparison with what comes after, that you really understand that's what happiness felt like. I was the worst thing that ever happened to her. If she'd never met me, she'd have stayed in the hub, maybe hooked up with someone who didn't kill people for a living. Probably been happier than she was with me. Almost certainly lived longer.
Look, he had a baby.
Whatever made me think that a guy like me should have a daughter? No, I never deserved her. Not for 1 second. It's gonna be fine. You'll see.
But we don't know anybody here. And now, with the baby?
Come on, Sarah, you've got to give it a chance. I finally got steady work with a good outfit. Nothing like that in the NCR these days.
No, I'm not saying this was a mistake. I'm just... Are you sure these guys know what they're doing? They seem kind of green.
I know, but that's where I come in. Just wait. In a few years, I'll be running my own crew. As soon as I make the connections I need. Then I can give you anything you want. And little Mary, too.
I never worried about you before. Must be my mama instincts kicking in. Who knew I had those, huh?
Come on, you're great with her. And you don't need to worry about me. Most of it's just running security for the she. A lot of standing around looking tough.
Well, they sure picked the right person for that job.
Listen, it's gonna be great here. See this? This is what's gonna keep you and Mary safe. I promise.
I
That's
know.
just weird, pulling out a gun.
I'm sure we're gonna be really happy here.
We are. You'll see.
So, Kellogg was trying to have
That's
a
okay. I
family.
got it.
Let's keep looking. I'll connect you
I
to the
still don't
next
know why
intact
Dogmeat's
memory.
in here with me. Next memory.
How did you think this was gonna end, Kellogg? You thought you could just fuck with us, and we wouldn't fuck with you? Just so you know, they died like dogs. And you weren't there to help them.
So, whoever those people
I
were
found another
talking,
memory to try.
those are
I'll
people
connect
killed his, Sarah and the baby Mary.
There's always someone who wanted someone else dead. Sometimes just roughed up, but dead was usually what they wanted. Sometimes they thought they could cheat me. That was usually only when I first arrived somewhere. Didn't matter to me. I just took it as part of the job. Little extra thrown in for free. I always got paid in the end. One way or another.
Mind if...
There was always a job for someone like me. Didn't matter what it was. Didn't matter who
They
I was
basically
supposed
became a
to
merc
kill.
for hire.
I got pretty good at it.
We...
I don't remember much from that time. It all kinda blends together. There was almost always a bar, though. That's universal. Suit yourself. I didn't care where I was going. Ended up mostly wandering east. Getting as far away from San Francisco as I could, maybe.
So,
Dog meat squatter.
I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
If you pay me.
Oh, we'll pay you. And you'll do this all by yourself?
That's right.
We pay you when the job's done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it? So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Well, we seem to be getting closer. Try this next one.
Next memory. Is this exciting? Are you learning all about Kellogg? I actually really liked this part, like giving you a backstory to someone in the game that you knew nothing about.
Mr. Kellogg, I'm glad.
I finally ended up in the Commonwealth. I kinda ran out of road.
Those are the Gen 1 synths,
Plus,
by the way, on each side. The ones
come
that
to
just look like
terms with life.
skeleton-y things.
I wasn't gonna be stupid enough to get mixed up with caring about other people again. It was just me against the world. And the world had it coming. You heard all sorts of rumors about the Institute. But I figured they were just a convenient boogeyman for anything bad that ever happened. They were real, all right. They didn't know anything about operating on the surface. Relied on their synths for everything. They had the resources I needed, and I had the expertise they needed. Turned into a permanent arrangement, which suited me just fine. First synths weren't all that impressive. I'm good, but I'm not that good. But the Institute could always make more, and kept making them better each time. They still give me the creeps, but you have to get used to them if you want to work with the Institute. So, you're with the Institute. I wanted to see for myself if you really existed.
We do, as you can see.
What do you want?
I keep
It's come to
switching.
my attention that you've been rather disruptive of our operations lately. This must stop.
Why is the
I do
synth
what
on the
people pay me
right
to do.
looking at me?
If that's a problem for you.
Because I'm not actually
I could see
here.
only one
I
way
can't even
out.
zoom out
And what's that, Mr. Kellogg?
to, third
If
person.
I'm working for you, there's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in.
I think I do.
Very well. B-748, initiate. Impressive. We may have something to talk about after all.
Getting warmer. One of these has got to tell us something.
And now
We're
we
running out of
continue on.
Ah, there's one that looks mostly intact. Connecting now.
Manual override initiated. Cryogenic stasis suspended.
Well, you should recognize this from
All
the beginning of
computers
the
are
game.
still working. That's good. Checking through the logs. Hopefully it's all...
Just fine. I was now the Institute's main operator in the Commonwealth. If they needed something done, they came to me. It wasn't usual for anybody from the Institute to come along on a mission, so this one stood out. I didn't know then who it was we were grabbing from the vault. Of course, neither did they. Not really.
Pod C6.
The eggheads never liked taking orders from a dirty, contaminated degenerate like me. But they needed me, and I made sure they knew it.
Down the hall near the end.
It's not really a hall. It's like, it's like right here. Oh, look, it's Nate and Sean.
I'm glad I didn't have to kill the kid. I'm not saying I haven't done it, but, I never liked to. But it was better this way. Better than taking his kid and leaving him alive.
And what about me over here?
Even then, I knew it was a mistake leaving her alive. I understood that kind of revenge. No one better. But I was cocky enough to assume I could handle some soft, pre-war vault dweller. Even if she somehow got thawed out. At least I know those Institute bastards will soon get what's coming to them, too. If she could take me out, they won't be able to hide from her for long. I never knew why we didn't just refreeze the rest of them. But we had our orders.
So I guess they woke them all up.
Guess the old man didn't want so many loose ends. Too bad he left alive the one person he shouldn't have.
And I guess he had all of them die, except
This
me?
is the one. Here.
Interesting. I don't think I've
Open
ever
it.
caught that part before.
Is it over?
Almost. Everything's gonna be fine.
Come here. Come here, baby.
No. I've got him.
Let the boy go. I'm only gonna tell you once.
I'm not giving you Sean.
God damn it. Get the kid out of here. Let's go. At least we still have the backup.
Cryogenic sequence reinitialized.
What's the holdup?
I'm almost finished, Kellogg. I just need to confirm. Come on. All right, we're good.
I'm sorry you had to go through that again. I found another intact memory. Whenever you're ready.
This will be the last one. Spoilers. So yeah, you know, in case you get tired of it.
Is that your son? This appears to be a very recent
It
memory.
wasn't my idea to settle down with the
Good news, I
kid
think.
in the middle of Diamond City. I thought it was a terrible idea, actually. But it was one of the old man's pet projects, so here we were. Me and the kid. Like a happy little family. I ended up kind of liking it. A reminder of what my life might have been if things had turned out differently. But there's no going back. I knew it was just temporary. It'd be back to normal business before too long. This whole setup in Diamond City was part of some elaborate plan of the old man's. Seems obvious now that we were bait for our friend from the vault. Timing couldn't have been an accident. It's not how the old man works. I wonder if he outsmarted me in the end. Another loose end tied up.
Kellogg.
It's okay. One of the new breed of synths could easily pass as human. Some of them did. But the coursers, they weren't built to blend in. They were killing machines, pure and simple. Smarter, stronger, and faster than almost any real human. I'm just glad they were always on my side. These days you're gonna get your head blown off just barging in here like that.
Minimizing my exposure to civilians is a priority.
Forget I said anything. So what's the big crisis this time?
New orders for you. One of our scientists has left the Institute.
Left? As in?
He's gone rogue. Name's Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the glowing sea. Here's his file.
Wow. Some heads are gonna roll for this. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination. He was working on a highly classified program.
No kidding. One of the top bioscience boys? Damn. So, I guess you're taking the kid back with you.
Affirmative. Your only mission is to locate and eliminate Virgil.
You're taking me home to my father?
Yes. Stand next to me and hold still.
Okay.
X688. Ready to relay with Sean.
Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
Bye.
And that's it.
Teleportation. Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance. Let me pull you out of there as soon as you're ready.
I'm ready. Get me out of Kellogg's head.
Slow movements, okay? I don't know what kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done this before. How do you feel?
I'm okay, Doctor. Thank you.
That's good, but I want you to keep monitoring yourself. We have to be sure there's no long-term damage. Are you ready to talk about what happened in there?
We got what we needed. The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out.
Yes, their greatest secret has finally been revealed. But that only leads to more questions. How does it work? Where do we go next?
That's a good question.
That scientist Kellogg was supposed to track down. Virgil. We need to find him.
You're right. A rogue Institute scientist could answer all kinds of questions. Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That doesn't make sense. No one goes there. Not even if they were desperate.
Why? What makes the glowing sea so dangerous?
The name says it all. Radiation. So much that nothing there could possibly live. Nothing pleasant. Navigating radioactive hazards is nothing new. But the glowing sea can kill a man in seconds. That's why it doesn't make sense. Virgil fleeing into that hell. The exposure alone.
If we need to find Virgil, then I'm going after him.
If you're going to go, be prepared. You'll need some way to combat the radiation there. It's called the glowing sea for a reason.
How do I fight that much radiation, Doctor?
There are chemical compounds. Rad-X, Radaway. You'd need as much as you could carry. Maybe more. A sealed environment suit would be great, if you could find one. Or maybe one of those suits of power armor? That would be
I have
perfect.
one of those.
I'll find a way to get through the rads. Don't worry.
Good luck. And be safe. By the way, I unplugged Mr. Valentine first. Removed the implant while you were waking up. He's waiting for you upstairs.
Alright, we're gonna go have a chat with Nick and see how this was for him.
Always on good behavior, aren't you?
Bye.
I try to be.
Seems like you're doing better than trying. I appreciate it. Too few folks can be bothered. Of course, in my experience, if you want to do real good, playing nice only gets you so far. I mean, look at Diamond City. A place I've been trying to warn of real danger. But every issue I publish, all I hear is, "Oh, Piper, why don't you ever publish anything happy? Piper, why can't you write something nice for a change?" It's enough to make me want to hang up my hat some days.
Sounds like it must be exhausting.
No kidding. But people, they deserve to know the truth. Sure, it can be scary, knowing what's really out there. A night doesn't go by, I'm not afraid some Institute drone
But
will decide
Dr.
today's
Amari.
the day to pay old Piper and family a visit. But it's worth it, because I know the truth. That's what protects us.
Couldn't agree more. How can you protect you and yours if you don't know what you're facing?
Dr. Amari's just going all
Most
around the
folks,
place.
though, they'd prefer a comforting lie.
But
not me.
Rude.
I've seen firsthand what the truth can do. My sister and I, we grew up way out in the Commonwealth. Tiny little settlement. Our dad, he was part of the local militia. Keeping the raiders off our backs and the mirelurks out of our latrines, as he'd describe it. Well, one day, our dad turns up dead. His captain, asshole named Mayburn, claims raiders must have gotten him on watch. Well, I didn't buy it. I start making inquiries. Turns out, the captain, he'd sold out. Thought he wasn't getting paid enough to babysit the town. He was gonna leave the gates open one night. Let a group of raiders sack the place and take a cut of the profits. My dad found out and was gonna turn Mayburn in, but Mayburn got to him first. And I wasn't about to let that bastard get away with murder. I tried talking to the mayor, but he wouldn't listen. So, I papered the entire town in posters. Wanted for gross dereliction of duty, Captain Mayburn. The mayor sure wanted to talk after that. The town threw Mayburn out on his ass and were dug in when a very surprised group of raiders finally showed.
You saved those people.
No. Those people saved themselves. Because they knew the truth. But hey, I'm sorry if I've been rambling. I just get fired up sometimes. It's just nice to talk to someone who actually seems to get it, you know? So, should we head out?
It's one of those, you know, random conversations. Alright, anything else I want to take from your place? I will take the glue. I don't know why I would need an oven mitt.
What's that for?
Alright, let's go talk to Nick.
Hey, Valentine.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head. I was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
Well, that's not creepy.
Kellogg. Is that you?
What? What are you talking about?
You feeling all right, Nick?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
You sounded like Kellogg just then.
Did I? Huh. Mari said
You didn't
there
just
might be
sound
some
like
mnemonic
Kellogg. You
impressions left
said
over.
something he would say
Anyway,
too.
I feel fine, so let's get going.
But this is never
Or
explored
I
in the
could
rest
head
of the
back
game.
to Diamond City, since you've got company already.
So, because we have to go into the glowing sea, where it is high radiation, I would not take Piper with me because she would also need to be protected from radiation, right? Nick would be the better one to take because he is a synth. He doesn't get affected by it.
Let's get going, Nick.
Been one heck of a ride so far. Let's see where it takes us next.
But I can have multiple followers, so
Hey,
I'm gonna have to actually
where to?
tell her
Hey,
to
Piper.
go back home.
You look like you could use a pick-me-up.
It's time we each went our own way.
Sure thing. I'll head home.
Alright, so now we have Nick, and I'm gonna have to leave dog meat at home too. Because the radiation, I think, should affect him too. I mean, it should. Alright, let me show you real quick. Like, we are here, Diamond City is here. The glowing sea is this area. So it's a decent walk. I will, in the next video, I will pick up when I start with the glowing sea. I'm probably gonna do some side quests in between, like some of the Minutemen quests, gathering settlements and stuff like that too. Because I gotta do that. I actually may even stop and actually do some Railroad and Brotherhood of Steel quests as well. Those I will record because I want to record the important faction missions. Most of the Minuteman missions are just go get settlements. They do have a mission that is not they have like 2 missions that aren't just going to get settlements, so those I'll show you, but the just like, hey, we found a new settlement that needs our help, can you go check it out stuff, I'm not gonna record because it just gets old. It's like, hey, these raiders need to be killed, or these super mutants, or the ghouls. So, thank you for joining me. I will see you in my next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.